Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Some few minutes ago as I speak, Raila Odinga, taking to his social media accounts, had this to say. John F. Kennedy once stated, civility is not a sign of weakness, and sincerity is always subject to proof. We accepted the call for dialogue but shall defend all our constitutional rights. We won't hesitate to call for demonstrations if the process doesn't yield results. And then Raila Odinga shared that photo. In this video, I want us to dig deep into all this, bearing in mind that today, Azimio held its PG meeting in Athi River, Machakos County. A PG meeting that brought together all Azimio leaders. I want us to dig deep into this story, considering what is going on in the country. We are seeing Kenya Kwanza chest thumping, playing it hard. And listening to William Ruto speaking today, it appears William Ruto is also blowing hot and cold. But before we dig deep into all that, if you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Please. Let me start by asking this question. Do you think William Ruto is honest about the dialogue? Yes. Is he really honest about dialogue? I'm seeing a William Ruto who is not honest. And the reason is simple. William Ruto, if he will be lucky to reach 2027, he does not want a level playing field. He wants a system that will favor him in 2027. So Ruto fears that in the event of honest, truthful discussions and negotiations, the playing field might be leveled. That's something William Ruto does not want. And he does not want that because he's not very sure of his popularity on the ground. He's seeing the ground dumping him at a terrific speed. In fact, Kenyans are angling towards Azimio team. So because of such fears, William Ruto might not be all that serious about the talks. He wants a field that will favor him. All systems that will favor him come 2027. And that's why we are seeing he had even started a process of single-handedly reconstituting IEBC. In the event there are talks, then such plans might be thwarted. So it is a fact that William Ruto might be the person derailing all these talks. His olive branch to Raila Odinga was just a political strategy. He wanted to depict Raila Odinga as a man who is out to cause chaos, a man who is not ready to sit down and to talk. And he was doing that thinking that Raila Odinga was going to reject that olive branch. But Raila, because he is a seasoned politician, in fact, Raila understands Kenyan politics better than William Ruto. He knew that that was a trap William Ruto was setting for him. In the event Raila Odinga could have refused, then Ruto and his team, they are very good when it comes to propaganda. And on propaganda, they actually beat Raila. Ruto and his team, they beat Raila Odinga 10-0 when it comes to propaganda. If Raila had rejected the olive branch, they could have really used a lot of propaganda to paint Raila Odinga in bad lights both locally and even internationally. Raila Odinga did escape that trap by also accepting to to dialogue with him. And now if you look at the issues Raila Odinga is raising, those are very honest issues. Ruto, form your team. I form my team. These teams to agree. Upon the teams agreeing, let's move to parliament for parliament to approve that. What's so wrong with that? In fact, what Raila is asking for is the actual bipartisan approach, in that these two teams are going to agree before the matter goes to parliament. In the event the matter is discussed and deliberated in parliament, then that's going to be just a William Ruto's own discussion, because we all know Ruto controls parliament as I talk, and immediately was sworn in. He made it his business to compromise a good number of Azimio elected leaders to his side. So that is, the parliament itself is already compromised. There is no genuine or honest talks that can come from parliament. So William Ruto wants him to go to parliament because he knows he will be calling shots there. In my honest opinion, Ruto is just being hypocritical by saying that this issue should be discussed in parliament. I saw Kimani Ichung'wah yesterday saying that in their PG, he is going to request for them to write to ICC to start some investigations in Kenya. That was Kimani Ichung'wah. And actually, let me just show you his tweet. The way his tweet was, Kimani Ichung'wah. This is what he posted yesterday. So it is as we said, Raila Odinga hoped to instigate post-election violence, use the anarchy and bloodshed to ride on to yet another handshake regime. We said the looting, rape, arson, land invasions, and killings were all planned with a motive. Mzee and your sponsor, forget another handshake. This is Kimani Ichung'wah speaking yesterday. And from this post, you can see clearly how clueless Ruto and his team are. And for those who have been following me here, I've always maintained that Ruto and his team, they are very predictable. You just tie the dots and you will know their next motive. Right now, Kimani Ichung'wah is saying Raila wanted to instigate post-election violence. I'm very sure if Raila Odinga could have rejected or turned down the olive branch by William Ruto, there are some of the propaganda they could have been using on Raila Odinga, and they could have easily convinced Kenyans, even locally and outside the international community. Raila did escape that. And now look at it, Kimani Ichung'wah is saying that the land invasion we saw at Uhuru Kenyatta's Northern Farm was also instigated by Raila Odinga. This is a white lie. And this goes on to expose that Ruto and his team, their style and mode of politics is based on deceit and lies. And this is how they convinced the mountain to vote for them. They lied to them. They cheated them. And listening to Ruto and his team speaking today in Nyandarua, it's as if now they are cheating the people once again. They are now, in fact, the discussion, according to them, they want now the discussion to be about maendeleo ama maandamano. I saw Ruto asking some residents of Nyandarua, ni maandamano ama maendeleo. Before the start of this maandamano, which maendeleo was William Ruto doing? In fact, if you look at the budget estimates by Ruto's government, in fact, Ruto has reduced spending on development, but he has actually increased spending on recurrent expenditure, on luxuries. So you are seeing this totally a government based on lies and based on deceit. The mountain should wake up to know that they're being taken for a ride. They are being made a fool of twice. Ruto and his team, the mountain should not allow Ruto and his team to cheat them twice. Let William Ruto not use the ongoing discussion to cheat the masses. Let him deliver. He promised to deliver some things within 100 days. He has failed. He's now passing now the blame. In fact, he's just trying to create a new narrative. Let me stop it there. But even before I stop, if you look at that post by Raila Odinga, Raila in one way or the other is just trying to explain the reasons as to why he stepped down, or rather the reason as to why he accepted to dialogue with William Ruto. Because the William Ruto we know is not a man for dialogue. He's a man who is naturally somebody to chest thump, somebody to be seen to be the victor. And even in this case, Ruto is just trying to prove that he's a very strong person, a person who cannot actually be intimidated. But at the end of the day, it's William Ruto and his team who are going to suffer. Because it's clear they have not delivered. The ground is receiving all Raila Odinga's message. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe. Give this video a like. To our fans and subscribers, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. Thank you. God bless you. Any other person who wants to support us, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.